Hola, me llamo Anamaria Morales, and today I'm going to be making for you one of my favorite dishes of all time, cheesecake, and adding a twist to it with abuelita Mexican hot chocolate. This dish is very important to me because not only is this month, Septiembre, Hispanic Heritage Month, but also this dish reminds me of my abuelita, Juana, who would make us Mexican hot chocolate on Christmas. Oh, it was so good. So I'm deciding to celebrate her and Hispanic Heritage Month, combine my two favorite foods to make you a no-bake Mexican hot chocolate cheesecake in a mug. It'll be fantastic, I promise. Let's get started. To create this dish, you will need 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1/2 cup of finely ground graham cracker crumbs, 1 tablespoon of butter. You will need 1 tablet of abuelita hot chocolate mix, a little dash of cayenne pepper, some cocoa powder, 1/4 a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of sugar. You will need 1 sturdy mug to hold it all together, and just to top it off, a little cup of marshmallows that you'll sprinkle right on top for a little extra magic. So first we're going to start off with washing our hands, so that's very important. You wouldn't believe how many people forget to do that. Okay, get the nice bubbles. So to start off this dish, we're gonna start by mixing our cream cheese. And we're gonna just scoop in that 8 tablespoons of cream cheese right into the bowl. If you have a standing mixer, that would be ideal, but if not, it's always okay to use a hand mixer. It'll work just as well. Make sure that's clipped in like that. Now you're gonna add your 1/2 cup of sugar right into the bowl. Now this is granulated sugar. Make sure you don't get confused with powdered sugar or brown sugar. Those are not the same thing. Add that right in. Now if you do have a KitchenAid or a standing mixer, make sure you're using the paddle feature. That'll give your cream cheese a nice airy, fluffy texture rather than something that's over whipped or not whipped enough. Let me show you. While the cream cheese is mixing, make sure to add in your 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Take it up a few notches. You want to make sure your batter is evenly mixed so that there are no clumps of cream cheese left in the mixture. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's get started on the graham cracker crust. So I went ahead and melted the 1 tablespoon of butter right there in the microwave. You're gonna pour that into your graham cracker crust here. Mix that together evenly. Then you're gonna add a little pinch of cinnamon into your crust to give it a nice little kick. Okay, mix that together. And this crust is gonna go at the bottom of your mug here. Typically when you're making a cheesecake, you're gonna use a springform pan, but since this is a Mexican hot chocolate in a mug, we're gonna use the mug as our springform pan. So once this crust is evenly mixed together, you're gonna pour 1/2 of it into the bottom of the mug. Now, those of you with long fingers have an advantage here because you're gonna be pressing the crust at the edges and at the bottom of the mug. Nice and even. Like so. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this, but that's what it'll look like. So, the point of this cheesecake in a mug is we want to create sort of like a cheesecake parfait. We want to do layers of crust, cheesecake, and then put those marshmallows on top to give it a nice, fluffy ending.
2.
Wait, okay. Ready? Okay, now we're gonna head over to the oven and we're gonna melt down 1 tablet of abuelita hot chocolate into a saucepan. Now inside the saucepan, I already have 1/4 cup of water that'll just help melt down the tablet just a little bit quicker. Oh, it smells so good. You're gonna unwrap 1 tablet. It looks like this. It has abuelita written in little triangles. Gonna put that into the saucepan and just let it melt down on its own naturally. Make sure you're using a wooden spoon and not one of these plastic spatulas. If you leave the plastic spatula inside of the hot saucepan, you're gonna ruin your saucepan and you're gonna ruin your plastic spoon. So make sure to use a wooden spoon. That's muy importante. So make sure that melts down, and while that's melting down, let's head back over here and finish the filling. So I already have the filling mixed nice and evenly. Cayenne pepper, be very careful with this. If you add too much, your tongue's gonna burn off. So add just a little tiny weeny bit. You're gonna add just a little dash. Okay, that's good. Then come over to the cinnamon. Now be more generous with the cinnamon, because what makes Mexican hot chocolate, traditionally Mexican hot chocolate, is the amount of cinnamon that you can taste inside of the filling. So add, I would say, about half a teaspoon of cinnamon into the batter. Maybe even a little bit more, depending on how much you like your cinnamon. I really love cinnamon. All right, that'll be good. Cup that off. Mix the batter just once more. All right, let's head back over to our oven and see how the Mexican hot chocolate mixture is going. Woohoo, it's boiling. So we want to turn down the heat on there. Make sure it cools down just a little bit before we add it into the mixture. Now you see, oh, I wish you could smell this. This reminds me of Christmas. It's a beautiful cinnamon, slightly cayenne peppery, chocolate ooey gooey mixture that's gonna go right into the batter. So we're gonna carefully now add just a little spoonful at a time right into the batter. Don't add it in too fast, because then you're gonna splat hot boiling chocolate everywhere. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it won't be the best either. So slowly mix in all of the mixture, just like such. Make sure you put this on top of the oven or back in the sink. Don't put it on the top of the counter. You might crack the counter. Okay, now if you take a look at our mixture, we have a nice hot chocolate, chocolatey mixture. Let's take it up just a notch. It's also important to scrape the sides of your mixture so that you are left with no clumps of cream cheese inside of the batter. So we'll scrape the sides just like that and turn it on. Okay, now we're going to add this mixture right into our mug. Make sure to take the whisk off the paddle just like that. Place that right into the sink. Grab your spatula. Scrape the sides, and we're gonna pour just a tiny bit into the mug until it fills about halfway through. I'll show you what I mean right here. So we see that half of our mug is filled with this hot chocolate mixture. Okay, just a side note on this batter. Make sure you're not using eggs inside of this batter. This is a no-bake cheesecake. If we were baking this cheesecake, you would use eggs. But since we're not baking it, you don't want salmonella, so make sure you're not putting any eggs into your batter. Now what I'm doing right now is adding the last portion of this graham cracker crust right on top of the batter. Like so. You'll see right here. Now, this is my favorite part. We're gonna put just a thin layer of cream cheese filling right on top. And then we're gonna add the marshmallows. This just gives it another element of hot chocolate flavor goodness, like such. Now really pile on those marshmallows. Don't be shy about it, trust me. They make this recipe just that much better. All right, now I'm gonna do a little Anamaria bonus to this recipe. I'm gonna grab my handy dandy blowtorch. I don't even know why I own this, but in case you own a blowtorch, grab it. You're gonna need it for the extra crispy layer on top of these marshmallows. So we're gonna take our torch and get the marshmallows just that fluffier, crunchier, softer feeling right on top there. You'll see them brown up like we're roasting some s'mores. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay, now once they're all fluffed up and got that brownish color on them, oh hey, then we're gonna pop it into the refrigerator for about an hour to an hour and a half. If you want to speed up the time, put put it in the freezer. It'll take about half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how hungry you are for this Mexican hot chocolate dish. I'm gonna put mine in the freezer. So let's go. All right, just pop it in like such. Get it nice and secure and tuck it away. Okay, I'll see you guys back in about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, the 30 minutes has been up and I cannot wait any longer. So let's go check it out. Oh, I am so excited. Make sure to grab a spoon and a comfortable place on the couch so we can enjoy this Mexican hot chocolate abuelita cheesecake in a mug. Oh, I'm so excited. Now make sure you get a big scoop so you get all layers of the graham cracker crust and cheesecake filling and that marshmallow top just like that. Oh, this is so good. You have to try this at home. Don't just make one, make 10. I promise they won't disappoint. See you next week.